Goldberg, Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, Geneva College, Carver Construction, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, McGee Heating and Air Conditioning, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, and Beaver County Radio.
You're listening to 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge.
Welcome to tonight's edition of Coach's Corner on Beaver County Radio. This show features the local headmasters of high school football talking about their upcoming games, star players, personal philosophies, and much more. Tonight's show is being brought to you by the Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Dr. Montini and St. Barnabas Dental, Goldberg, Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home in New Brighton, Geneva College, Carver Construction, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Electric Garage Door Sales, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, McGee Heating and Cooling, Fisher's Foodland, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner, our first of the 2023 football season. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Azadian, joined by Mr. John Perrotto, and he will join me most weeks. And tonight we're going to talk Blackhawk football, and we are going to be joined by head coach Pat Feeley and some of the young men. We will introduce them later. It's Dante Campagna, Alex Pritchard, Maurice, Trent Watson, and Thomas Price. They will join us later. But before we start, one quick note. This is our first Coach's Corner of the year and our first Coach's Corner since the passing of Mr. Bob Barrickman, who did this for so many years. Myself and John took over a lot of it last year. And then Mr. Jim Frederick just passed away last week, both longtime members of Beaver County Radio. And we just wanted to say great working with both of them, and rest their souls. And we will continue to broadcast and do what they taught us how to do, John.
Yeah, we'll try to carry on the great tradition, the great example they set, and especially in Bob's case here for over 30 years, really set a high bar and truly was a legend in Beaver County sporting circles.
Quickly, also, Pizza Joe's. They donate the pizza so the young men can have some pizza here. Pizza Joe's in Beaver. Give them a call. Tremendous pizza. Pizza Joe's. Love Pizza Joe's. We'll talk about them. But we're going to talk Blackhawk Cougar football with head coach Pat Feeley. Coach, welcome.
Hey, how you doing today? Just want to say real quick, Bob Barrickman, I miss him already.
Yep.
I remember, when I first moved here, having this type of show was like, wow, this is the big time. And I remember going to Roberts Roadside with my son, who's now 16, or he's going to be 16, running around with the fireplace and the wings down at Roberts Roadside. So
having fun.
Those are great memories with Bob.
No doubt about it. Coach, you've been a long-time assistant since 1999 at Blackhawk under Joe Hamilton, under Zach Hayward, and then all of a sudden, about a month or so ago, boom, you're asked to be the head coach. There were rumors about Zach interviewing for athletic director positions, but that was back in the spring, but this kind of happened quickly. Talk to us about how fast this happened.
It was basically over that weekend, people started mentioning rumors, and I said, well, I'm in New York State seeing my mother, and I was just like, well, when I get back to Beaver County, I'll find out. And then we found out Sunday night as a staff, and then, it was almost like there wasn't enough time to be in shock. It was like, well, he's leaving, and what are you going to do about it? So, it was like, you're taking it over.
And your kids seem to take it, okay, our coach is gone. Boy, they'll miss him. They were in shock a little bit. But as kids are, from what I read, they were like, okay, let's just get back to practice.
Yeah, very, very resilient. And they wanted to say, hey, we're going to take any adversity on. And, I always say you're going to face it down the road, but it was right in front of their face. So really resilient group. And, I can't give them enough credit for this transition.
How important is it to have that continuity? I mean, you've been with the program for many, many years. You're, Zach's right-hand man on the coaching staff here in the years he was the head coach. How important is it to have that continuity, even though Zach is not there and obviously he's missed? that the kids are familiar with you, they're familiar with the rest of the staff and the way of doing things that you do there at Blackhawk.
Yeah, the staff's been great. They've come together. I was looking at them in the meeting room last night. I said, "This is a great staff," and I'm so lucky to have this staff. But these kids bought into me, and they understand. They've known me since they were freshmen. I've been there through their ups and their downs, through any trials and tribulations. I've been there for them, and so I think they know that I'm going to be there for them anytime they need.
Coach, it doesn't start off easy for you. You play Beaver Falls, which seems like Blackhawk Beaver Falls. That's the first game of the year. Neighborhood rivals, pretty much. Blackhawk used to be part of the Beaver Falls School District for years, but a lot of people think they're going to be one of the better teams in their classification. How do you feel about playing them in your first game?
They will be one of the better teams in their classification. Nick Nardone does a great job. I talked to a lot of coaches about advice about being a head coach. I didn't call Nick because it's the first game. I might call him after the game, be like, all right, give me some advice. But they're just so well coached, and Nick does a great job. You don't get to Acrisure or Heinz Field 3 times in a row just by talent. So, you got to prepare if you're going to face a Nick Nardone team.
What do you think the key is? I mean, they're going to be, from what I see, they're going to go more back to a running game instead of passing. So obviously they're going to have to stop the run, but nobody knows for sure about their QB situation. It's rumored to be there's 3 kids, and they may flip it around a little bit, but you're going to have to stop the run if you want to try to beat them.
They have running quarterbacks, they have passing quarterbacks, they have all types. But last year we had 6 turnovers in the first half, and we really set out to say we're to really complete not turning the ball over, not making those type of mistakes that turn a game around. Because we had a pick 6, we had fumbles, we had snaps over the head. So he said you can't win with 6 turnovers. So we want to make that our benchmark, that no turnovers this game, no mistakes.
Is it usually you kind of ease into the season and don't have a big rivalry game? And I realize you're not in the same class, you're not in the same conference. But everyone knows Beaver Falls Blackhawk is a big rivalry with the geography and what have you. Is it make it different, or in which ways is it different to know that you're going to have to be so emotionally charged right from the first game?
Well, you're going to have a full year. Yeah. If you don't win that game, you're going to run to Beaver Falls guys, Beaver Falls coaches, and you'll shake hands and say, how you doing? But when they look you in the eye that, we got you. Yeah. We got you. Same thing. When you win, all right, you see them, hey, how you doing? Oh, good luck. But you look in the eye like, you give them a little wink, we got you. Because last 4 games we were 2-2. 2 wins for us, 2 wins for them, and then they've been all great games.
Still got a couple minutes before our first break. I want to, you're a history teacher at Blackhawk. You came from New York. But one thing I read, there was a great quote that you had, an article I read about from Harry Truman, which you thought about when you took over this job.
Yeah, obviously, this isn't World War II. Obviously, I'm not president, but
Blackhawk Beaver Falls.
It is football in Beaver County.
Yeah. There's nothing. There's nothing like Beaver County football. But I kind of went back to, when I teach history, I tell the kids, we're not memorizing events, we're not memorizing dates. Let's take something and apply it to your life. And I said, someday you guys are gonna have to deal with a situation like Harry Truman, what befell him. This great leader, and he had to have all the Americans look up to him, and he had to lead through World War II, lead post-World War II. And, I tell him, someday it's going to happen to you. Well, I didn't realize I was talking to myself that, it's going to happen to me. So I took his lessons and just, you're going to make mistakes, but, be there for everyone.
What was it exactly that he said? I mean, I think
I feel like the moon, the stars, and the planets have all fallen on me.
I like that. Yep. I love that. That's why I wanted you to say it's a very, very, very interesting quote by him. And, right, he took over at a tough time, and you really can't compare that to this. But, I mean, you do get thrown into it. It's not like you knew for 3 months ahead and you could prepare quickly before we go to break. One last question. Do you have you, over these years, prepared yourself that you may someday be a head coach, or were you just okay with being an assistant and –
I like being the guy behind the scenes. I don't want to, it's not about my name in the newspaper. I think it's more about the kids, and I've always been that type of coach where it's like, what can I do to help the head coach out? What can I do to make the head coach function better and do a better job? So that's always been my role. And so, so there were times like I would do this as a head coach, but guess what? When Zach said he was leaving, I forgot every little one of those things I thought about. Yeah, I'll do this. My mind blanched. So, I was like going through like, what was I saying back then? What would I have changed? And I couldn't remember any of them. So some have come back to me. But
we're going to take our first break. We're with Blackhawk coach Pat Feeley and players here on WNBA, WBVP, Beaver County Radio. It's the Coach's Corner. We'll be right back after these commercials.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
You don't have to be headed back to school to still earn something at this time of year. This is Andy Dangle from Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Today's lesson is on reading. If you are thinking about buying a car, make sure you read the fine print on the dealer financing contract. Even if you already purchased a vehicle and the dealer financed it somewhere else, bring your paperwork into Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Refinancing and saving you money is easy. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard, across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details. Did you know Fisher's New Brighton Foodland is as close as a click? That's right. You can order your groceries right from your home. Click GroceryStoreNewBrighton.com and fill your shopping cart up. It's just that easy. Or stop in to shop for your favorite items. They specialize in fresh meats, hoagies, bakery items, and of course the deli. Pick up a delicious hot meal to go like fried chicken dinners, and don't forget fried fish every Friday. Don't cook, make it a Foodland day. Visit Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, your one stop to shop for all needs, or click GroceryStoreNewBrighton.com.
You know, I've heard people refer to older veteran athletes as being all washed up. Well, quite frankly, that's a rather nice compliment if you ask me. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. When you hear something like that, you have to consider the source of the water, that is. After all, getting washed up with Beaver Falls Municipal Authority water can't be a bad thing. That's because for over 80 years, we've made it possible for everyone to feel washed up, even if they are not star athletes. Click bfwater.net.
No matter what the circumstances, no matter the reason, one of the few things that is left when a loved one passes on are the memories. Staging those memories in an honoring way is one of the reasons so many people have chosen J&J Spratt Funeral Home. A person's legacy depends on a lifetime of accomplishments and then how they are remembered. J&J Spratt Funeral Home has helped start the process of creating positive legacies for over 70 years. Visit jjsprattfh.com. Joseph M. Spratt, Supervisor and Funeral Director.
At Geneva College, your academic experience will prepare you with exceptional expertise in your chosen field. But what you'll learn is so much more than just that. Integrating faith and learning, you'll grow to see God's purpose and calling in your life's work. You'll be challenged to imagine how the world around you could be different and what your part might be in making that difference. You were made to live courageously. Visit geneva.edu today.
Thanks for tuning into the Coach's Corner here on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's show is being brought to you by the Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Dr. Montini and St. Barnabas Dental, Goldberg, Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home in New Brighton, Geneva College, Carver Construction, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Electric Garage Door Sales, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, McGee Heating and Cooling, Fisher's Foodland, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
We're back. Coach's Corner, and we're talking Blackhawk Cougars, green and I guess it's yellow, or is it gold? Gold? Green and gold. I get the nod from the coach out there eating pizza. Pizza, speaking of pizza, John Perrotto loves Pizza Joe's in Beaver, and we're big fans. Thank you. They donated the pizza to us when we have the show here, and they are on 606 3rd Street in Beaver. Thank you to them. But now joining us, it's going to be Dante Campagna, this young man right here, and Alex Pritchard, both seniors from Blackhawk. Guys, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to have you.
Put that between you, that microphone, and maybe get a little closer. There you go. So Curtis can hear us. Guys, seniors, you've got 11 seniors on the team this year. Talk to us about the fact that you're seniors and now you guys are kind of leaders, whether you want to be or you don't. Dante, you go first.
Yeah, we've been around the program. It's just picking up the younger guys, getting them to know what to do. And, yeah.
Alex, do you make them carry equipment or, obviously you don't want to do anything bad with the kids, but you got to make them carry equipment or do something, carry water, do something for you.
Freshmen have freshman duties, so
yes.
you got to have them do that every once in a while. But
any traditions, anything we're allowed to talk about on the radio?
Quarterbacks, we like to have the younger freshman quarterbacks take the balls up and down for practice, so that's one of
stuff like that?
Yeah.
John, what do you think? Think he's telling us the truth?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no reason not to. We can give him a lie detector
Alex
test
seems
in
like
the next segment.
Alex seems like a good young man.
He is a nice young man, I'm sure. I've
Dante,
never met
I don't know
any
about
Blackhawk players.
Still haven't determined about Dante. There's always a lot of good kids at Blackhawk, no doubt about it. John, go ahead.
Guys, and you had a coaching change right out of the chute, like the first day of camp. How has that affected things, or has it affected things at all? I know you still have the rest of the staff intact. You obviously know Coach Feeley well. You know the rest of the coaching staff well. Has it been any kind of transition at all, or has it just been business as usual?
I think when Coach Hayward broke the news, it was mostly a shock to most of us. Yeah. But I think we faced adversity, and even though that we had a coaching change, I think we battled through it and got done with camp in a high manner.
When you do have the coaching staff the same, I assume it's not like you're overhauling the playbook or you have a whole new scheme or a whole new defense. Is it just, like you said, business as usual? How important was that to know that, hey, even though our coach decided to go, we still are doing the things we do, and to be comfortable with that instead of trying to have to learn a new offense, a new defense, things like that?
Yeah, it's important. Definitely with Feeley coming in, he knows what he's doing. He's always known. The players are comfortable with him, so it's someone that they can go talk to, and it's not like a new coach that the kids have never even met before. Yeah. These kids can go talk to him, learn the plays, get help from them whenever they need, so that's definitely helpful.
I like how he's on a last name basis with the coach, called him Feeley. I like that.
I call you Azadian.
Well, that's true. It's my last name, but with kids and the coach, hey, you
you
guys seem to get along
too.
with the coach. You've known him, obviously. Talk to us about what type of team you're going to have this year. Your quarterback's in his second year starting. You had a lot of younger kids on the offensive line. You graduated some seniors that were helped, but a lot of people think you guys are on the up, and people think you're expecting to fight for a playoff spot this year. Talk to us about what your team feeling is and the way the team feels.
Our line's a little young. They'll be good. And got a lot of our skill back. And we just have to fight. Our conference is...
No doubt, tough. But what position you play, Dante?
Receiver, running back. And
receiver, running back?
on defense.
Okay, and Alex, how about you?
Right now I'm all over the place.
All over the place?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically trying to help out. Now, how do you guys feel so far, a couple weeks into practice, compared to last year? Do you guys feel you are better right now without any injuries? Do you guys feel you are a better team?
I think the biggest change is we're working a lot harder than I think we have in previous years.
Okay.
And, we have experience back, which always helps.
Working harder. Now, was that working harder because you guys as a group are working harder for the coaches? Is it the kids that are spurring this on, or is it coaches that are doing this, Alex?
I think it's definitely a mix between the players and the coaches that are working harder. Players are working harder, especially because we want to give Coach Feeley first winning season.
Okay.
We want that season, his first season, to be great. We want him to get that, even though he's in that interim spot right now, we want him to get that full job.
John?
Dante, I wanted to ask you, this is your fourth year as a starter, and that's so you've played a lot of high school football now.
Right.
How prepared do you feel you are after being a starter for 3 years to really to go out on a really good note this year? And also wanted to ask you, being healthy this year too, because I know you said when we were off the air you played through hip pain for most of last season, and you had surgery to correct it at the end of the year.
Yeah, I feel really good. As far as knowledge goes, I know the offense, I know the defense. Just bringing everyone together, and so they really understand it.
Mm-hmm. And Alex, you got a big game, even though it's a non-conference game. You know, it's a big game with Beaver Falls. It's always a big game when Blackhawk and Beaver Falls play. How big of a rivalry is that for you guys, knowing you're just a few miles apart, you're border schools? I'm sure you know a lot of their players, and they know a lot of your guys. What's that game like for you to play Beaver Falls?
It's huge. Battle of the zip. Nothing beats that, right? So
Battle of the zip.
I think intensity is going to be unmatched Friday night, and I think everybody, whether it's the student section, the parents, are going to be into the game 100%, both sides.
So one question I like to ask kids every week is, okay, and you guys play all over, the offense, defense. So Dante, you go first. Would you rather score the game-winning touchdown, or would you rather come up and make the big hit and stop a guy from scoring the game-winning touchdown? What do you think?
I'd rather make the big hit, stop the touchdown.
So you're more of a defensive guy?
Yeah.
Get a lot out of that? How about you, Alex? How do you feel?
I think I like the game-winning touchdown.
Okay, so you're for the glory, your chicks dig touchdowns kind of thing. Is that how it goes?
A little bit.
Yeah, you're a little bit. I get it. So let's talk about the fans. You guys have some pretty good support. I go to Blackhawk basketball games last year, 3 or 4 we did. A lot of people. Football games, a lot of people. You guys, I'd say pretty much, other than maybe Central Valley Alacopa, you guys get a lot of support. It's fans, it's students. What's it like coming out of that tunnel or coming out of there and knowing you got the support you guys do, Dante?
It's a feeling you can't get anywhere else. I just know you have the whole community behind you, student section. All week, all everyone talks about is Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty special.
Alex, how about you? What do you feel like? It's easy to get jazzed up in the locker room because you know you got to play another opponent, but when you get out there and you see all the fans and you see all your friends and people supporting you, what's it feel like for you?
It gets me juiced up. You have kids in the student section rooting you on, maybe not you specifically, but rooting your whole team on. I think that really just me up to the max. Gets me ready for the game.
John?
There's a lot of tradition there, and I know you guys were through a couple rough seasons here. Does that still carry the tradition? I mean, is there a certain amount of pride you have when you put that Blackhawk jersey on, you put that uniform on?
Absolutely. It's community first, and then us.
Dante, I wanted to ask you. You got a lot of family in Beaver Falls too. Your Uncle Frank was the starting quarterback there many years ago. Is that game, like I asked Alex, how big a game is this for you? Even though it's a non-conference game,
it's always a big game. You play Beaver Falls, and I love playing on week 0 because that maybe sometimes seems to think week 0 another scrimmage.
Yeah.
Our two communities don't think that way. Yeah. It's going to be a fight.
Last question before we go to our next break. Let's say you're not playing basketball. I know, Alex, you play baseball. You're not playing football, and it's a Friday night. What are you doing with your friends and your family? What do you do away from sports if you got a free day away from sports?
Just hang out with our friends, make fire maybe, cornhole.
Make fire? Like make a fire and play some cornhole?
Fire pit.
Fire pit, okay. Alex, how about you? Same thing, or what do you got? Play video games, or give me something specific?
No, I'm an outdoors guy. I love to go golfing.
Golfing?
I love to golf as much as I can with my friends.
Golf? I'm gonna guess Blackhawk golf course. No.
Blackhawk, Rolling Acres, Grassy Lanes.
So if you 18, what do you shoot?
I usually shoot for 9 holes. I usually shoot like 39, 40.
Man, not bad. In the
Should be on the
high
golf
70s.
team, too.
You should be. Well, golf and
Kind of
football
hard
same
to do
time,
at the
right?
same
If it wasn't
time.
the same time, I definitely want to golf team.
Dante, you a golfer? You're an outside guy?
I'm not a golfer.
Fisher, hunter, nothing like that?
Yeah, I fish.
Fish a little bit? Boy, I tell you what, good. John, two pretty good interviews here. We got a little bit more out of Dante than I thought we would. He's a quiet guy, but very serious. And Alex, you as well. We really enjoyed having both of you on. We're going to take another break. We're going to come back with two more of your teammates. We're going to see if they can. Maybe we'll quiz them about you guys. I don't know. We'll see. Me and John got things up our sleeve. But we're here on the Coach's Corner, our first edition on WBVP WMBA, Beaver County Radio. We'll be back right after these commercials.
This is Mitch Carver from Carver Construction. Playing a great football game takes teamwork, great leaders, and great individuals. As a former high school football coach myself, I know what it takes to win. I apply these same qualities to Carver Construction in New Brighton. Satisfying customers isn't anything new at Carver. We've been doing it since 1982 for both residential and commercial renovations. I'm behind every job we do, so I can guarantee you that every time you deal with us, you win. Call us or visit us at our website at carverconstructionpa.com.
The award-winning Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston provides a delicious family dining experience. Grand Valley Inn is a great place for a party or event. They have banquet rooms for small and large gatherings. Fish and Friday night football go great together in Beaver County. The Grand Valley Inn has great fish and seafood specials on Fridays, live music on the weekends through October, and trivia night on Thursdays. Follow Grand Valley Inn on Facebook to keep up with all the fun. That's Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years of experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
Attention former employees of Babcock & Wilcox and J&L Steel Aliquippa. You may be entitled to compensation. If you or someone you know is suffering from lung cancer or mesothelioma and previously worked at Babcock & Wilcox or J&L Steel Aliquippa, call the Pittsburgh-based law firm Goldberg, Persky & White for a free consultation. Don't let time limit your rights. Contact GPW today at 1-800-COMPLEX or online at gpwlaw.com.
Does someone you know struggle to read? If so, there's tuition-free local help available. The Provident Charter School West at the former Quigley High School in Baden is helping students in grades 1st through 4th. Provident Charter School West teaches students with dyslexia so they can go back to their hometown schools and learn alongside their friends. Provident Charter School West is a tuition-free brick-and-mortar school for children in grades 1st through 4th who are below grade level in reading. For more information, go to providentcharterschool.org.
This football season, don't pass on McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Honest sales and 7 days a week emergency service have made them tops in their game for over 60 years. That's how long families just like yours have been relying on McGee for all their heating and cooling needs. Get ready now for the cooler days ahead and call McGee today at 724-375-7112. Serving the Beaver Valley, including Aliquippa, Monaca, Hopewell, and Center Township. McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Family owned and operated, Main Street, Aliquippa. Good luck to all the teams who visit the Gridiron this season from McGee Heating and Air Conditioning.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
Thanks for tuning into the Coach's Corner here on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's show is being brought to you by the Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Dr. Montini and St. Barnabas Dental, Goldberg, Persky & White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home in New Brighton, Geneva College, Carver Construction, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Electric Garage Door Sales, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, McGee Heating and Cooling, Fisher's Foodland, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
We're back. It's Coach's Corner, the first edition. Mike Azadian on the mic with Mr. John Perrotto. Thank you for coming back again this year. You're putting up with me last year, and we are talking Blackhawk Cougar football. Cougars playing at Beaver Falls this year, and 2-2 in the last 4 games. Big rivalry, as one of our last guests, Alex Pritchard, said, Battle of the Zip. I like that. Battle of the zip code.
15010.
15010.
If you're going to send me a letter, that's my zip code.
How about that?
How about that?
So 2 more guests. Maurice Watson-Trent, he's to the left. The man with the, I don't know what that says. What's that?
Maverick chain. It's my clothing brand.
Okay, there you go. And this gentleman is Thomas Price, and you've got a cross. So, guys, welcome.
Welcome.
Well, everybody representing, wearing their Blackhawk gear. We appreciate it. The green and gold.
Yes.
I was corrected. I said yellow, and Coach looked at me out of there. So, guys, seniors this year, and I'll ask you the same question I asked the last 2 guys. When you're a senior, generally you're looked at by a lot of the young kids as leaders, even if you don't want to be. Talk to us. You go first, Maurice. Your type of leadership with the younger kids.
Man, just staying on top, make sure the young guys is working their hardest, and we were working, basically keeping your teammate accountable, and that's very important for a leader, in my opinion. So,
Thomas,
I don't know, work these young guys, get them ready for what's going to be on Friday nights.
Right.
I ain't going to take us off, and I ain't going to say go too hard. I'm trying to keep them in the
keep them ready. Get them ready to be prepared for what it is. Because it's your first time out there as a freshman, it's got to be weird because you're not used to playing in front of. I mean, you're playing in junior high. You're not playing in front of a couple thousand people and the lights and the fans. And do you guys still, as seniors, I mean, last year as juniors, you still get butterflies when you go out there?
Every game.
Every game?
If you don't get butterflies, something's wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird. I was telling Curtis, 15 minutes before you guys weren't here, John wasn't here, and I'm pacing around, and I was a little nervous, and I've done this for 20-some years.
That's how you know it's about to be a good day.
Exactly.
It's
So
about to be a good game if you get butterflies.
Really? Okay. Sounds good to me. We talked to your teammates about school and fan support. When you're an athlete, a lot of times, a lot of kids in school look up to you. Right. And so it's leadership on the field, but it's also leadership at school.
Right.
Because if the athletes are goofballs and not treating the other kids right, then the school spirit and stuff's not there. So talk to us about non-football stuff. When you guys are in a classroom or like...
Coach always say after practice, at the end of the day, we are football players. So, when we're walking in through the buildings, they look at us as football players. If we do something wrong, we're football players. So we always make sure we're accountable and we're doing the right thing in school. Student athlete.
Tom, same thing pretty much?
Same thing, yeah.
John?
Outside of school, too. We're in a community. We can't be goofing around, run around, cause a commotion.
Right.
People going to look at it and be like, it's a football team.
Right.
He's a part of the football team.
Right. Yeah, you don't want that stereotype. I get it. John?
Is that hard to do sometimes? I mean, you guys are teenagers. You're not like 50-year-old men. I mean,
I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't really.
For me, I'm good. I make sure I'm on the right track. Always,
Yeah. Guys, I wanted to ask you, like I did earlier in the last segment, you had a coaching change right out of the gate, the first day of practice. What was that like, and how have you been able to adjust to the change?
It was a little hard because I really looked up to him. But at the end of the day, still got to go out there and play 100%.
Yeah.
110, 100, yeah. So still going to come out, going to play. Life happens. He did best for his family. So
Sure.
That's the most important thing. So.
I'm okay with it. Like it's a big change. You gotta keep moving forward. You can't be stuck in yesterday, a week ago. Coach Feeley, he's like, I'm more comfortable with him. I'm used to him too, because he's like, he's the one that brought me into the DN life.
Oh, okay.
If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be playing.
Oh, wow.
He's the one that was like, you know what, try DN. I got in there in one practice.
Yeah.
Blew the first team up.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I'm like, okay, I'm a DN now, I guess.
Oh, that's neat.
So,
Yeah. There's still a lot of continuity there. I mean, obviously, all the coaches. There's, it's not like they brought a coach in from outside the program. How important is that after you've been together with the rest of the coaching staff here throughout the time you've been on the varsity and the junior varsity to have those guys and know that, hey, even though Coach Hayward's not here anymore,
Right.
we still
And
everyone knows
it is
everyone.
very important
Yeah.
because you got the relationships like with the other coach. Go way back, so you're still kind of comfortable, even though if your coaches leave or anything, you still got that guy. You still got the right people.
Yeah.
Guys, let's talk about, last year had some success, but also had some rough games too. Looked like you broke through against some teams, but then lost a playoff game and really weren't really in the game. You had tough games against Aliquippa, Central Valley, Montour. It looks like you guys should be better, and some of those teams are always still going to be good. How are you guys looking forward to playing those teams again that maybe took it tough on you guys?
We're definitely looking forward. I feel like this year we got the right guys at the right position. We're different. We're definitely a different team. We're more faster, physical, stronger.
Athletic.
So we're definitely going to come up with that bang.
Okay.
Definitely ready.
Definitely ready.
Is there one team you look forward to playing the most?
Beaver Falls.
Yeah, definitely got to be Beaver Falls.
There you go. Beaver Falls is number one.
I'm from Beaver Falls. I go downtown, visit family. I hear a bunch of this and
Yeah.
that talking. I'm good at just being quiet and play my game. I don't talk during the game. I barely talk after, before.
So you just play.
I just play.
So I'll ask you guys the same question I asked your two teammates. Game's on the line. It's tough. You guys have been playing. It's hot. You're banged up. And you got a chance to either score the winning touchdown or stop somebody from scoring the winning touchdown. First, Maurice, what do you think?
I feel like anybody's going to say stop, but if I'm being honest, it's definitely going to be scoring a touchdown.
Scoring a TD? Thomas, same thing? Scoring a TD? You like that?
I want to hit somebody.
Oh, you want to hit somebody. You're opposite. So you and Dante want to stop somebody.
I'm trying to
and you
knock the helmet off.
and Alex and Maurice want to be the stars. That's it. That's okay. That's all right to want to be the star, want to get the glory. But sometimes stopping somebody, hitting somebody feels darn good, doesn't it?
You can get the ball from hitting somebody.
That's true.
I can knock somebody out cold, pick up the ball, and run and score a touchdown.
Same thing. Wow, I didn't think about
There you
that.
go. Could do both at once.
That's one of the first guys that ever answered that question.
That's a good answer.
Thomas Price.
I like that.
Thomas Price, first guy to ever answer that question. Honest, I remember that. That's good. John, what do you got?
Guys, you got to the playoffs last year, and I know you lost in the first round, but to be able to go to the playoffs and experience that, how much does that make you even more want to get back this year?
Man, that definitely been this whole summer. That's what all I've been thinking about is getting over that hump. Not being first round exits. Making the deep runs in the playoffs and also getting times filled. So definitely looking forward back.
Yeah. And Thomas, I wanted to ask you, you told us off the air you've been in the Blackhawk School District since second grade, so you're a Cougar through and through here. But both your parents are Beaver Falls Fighting Tigers. What's this dynamic like this week? I assume they're rooting for Blackhawk now, but
of course.
Okay.
Of course. I still got uncles.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm gonna be there every root for you, but this is like it's all love. But I'm used to it.
Yeah.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Well, again, we want to thank Maurice Watson Trent and Thomas Price, along with their two teammates, Dante Campagna and Alex Pritchard. And we still got a little bit more to go. We're going to talk to Pat Feeley again. We're going to go over the games. These young men are going to be playing at Beaver Falls and in the rivalry game in the very beginning of the year.
Battle of the Zip Code.
Battle of the Zip Code. They look forward to it every year.
I ain't gonna get no sleep.
These guys are jazzed up already. So we're here at our first Coach's Corner here on WBVP, WMBA, Beaver County Radio. We'll be right back after these commercials.
Community College of Beaver County's high school academies are providing Western Pennsylvania's young people with high-impact educational experiences and preparing them for careers in aviation, health, STEM, criminal justice, mascara construction, and education. They're the first choice for juniors, seniors, and parents to jumpstart a college education, find a career path and passion, and save time and money along the way. Soar to success, prepare to care, code like a pro, serve and protect, inspire learning, and build the future. It's college here and now. Visit ccpc.edu/HS programs or call 724-480-3424 to learn more.
You don't have to be headed back to school to still earn something at this time of year. This is Andy Dangle from Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Today's lesson is on reading. If you are thinking about buying a car, make sure you read the fine print on the dealer financing contract. Even if you already purchased a vehicle and the dealer financed it somewhere else, bring your paperwork into Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Refinancing and saving you money is easy. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
Listening to live sports on the radio in Beaver County is a tradition. This is Craig Fontana from Moon Township Ford, and I ought to know. My dad, Bill Fontana, has called games for over 50 years. Beaver County people know a good call when they hear one, and the best call you can make is to buy your next new or used vehicle at Moon Township Ford. Click moontownshipford.net or visit Moon Township Ford on University Boulevard.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Did you know Fisher's New Brighton Foodland is as close as a click? That's right. You can order your groceries right from your home. Click GroceryStoreNewBrighton.com and fill your shopping cart up. It's just that easy. Or stop in to shop for your favorite items. They specialize in fresh meats, hoagies, bakery items, and of course the deli. Pick up a delicious hot meal to go like fried chicken dinners, and don't forget fried fish every Friday. Don't cook, make it a Foodland day. Visit Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, your one stop to shop for all needs, or click GroceryStoreNewBrighton.com.
You know, I've heard people refer to older veteran athletes as being all washed up. Well, quite frankly, that's a rather nice compliment if you ask me. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. When you hear something like that, you have to consider the source of the water, that is. After all, getting washed up with Beaver Falls Municipal Authority water can't be a bad thing. That's because for over 80 years, we've made it possible for everyone to feel washed up, even if they are not star athletes. Click bfwater.net.
Back to school season means back to your credit union season. Before you pack the lunchbox, be sure and pack your wallet. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union and get the cash supply you'll need so that you can buy the school supplies that they will need. This is Cindy Hiladio. Stop into the principal's office and see me to sign up for an easy-to-manage personal signature loan. They're now available from $500 to $10,000 with approved credit. Friendly Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, equal housing lender.
Thanks for tuning into the Coach's Corner here on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's show is being brought to you by the Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Dr. Montini and St. Barnabas Dental, Goldberg, Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home in New Brighton, Geneva College, Carver Construction, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Electric Garage Door Sales, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, McGee Heating and Cooling, Fisher's Foodland, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
We're back. Coach's Corner. We're talking off the air. We're having fun here with Coach Pat Feeley of the Blackhawk Cougars. Coach said you were underdressed. You got the Blackhawk gear on. You're fine. You got a collared shirt on.
I'm glad.
It's not like you got a workout shirt on and you just came from practice.
That's all my wardrobe is all the Blackhawk T-shirts I get. So, hey, real quick, I'd like to give a shout out to my wife and daughter. They're probably listening right now. Elise, how are you doing? They all realize that they'll see me in November.
Yeah,
I appreciate accepting sacrifices you make as a coach.
Well, that's one thing about coaching. Some guys will last a long, long time. You have to have understanding families. Mm-hmm. Guys will last for a while, and then their kids get a little older, and then the family tugs at them. How tough is that?
It's difficult. It's sometimes I've told kids I go I spend more time with you than I do with my own children. You can't let me down.
All right.
Especially when they do something really stupid. I go, well, I'm going to put more of this time into you that I could be with my kids. Don't hurt me like that.
Obviously, at the high school level, you have to love doing it or you wouldn't do it. You're not getting rich doing it. We're broadcasting high school sports. We love doing it. Mm-hmm. We're not getting rich doing it. None of us are because it's fun. You have to have a love for it. I love doing this. So talk to us about the love of football and where that came from.
Well, I grew up in a little hard-nosed town upstate New York, and I grew up in a football family. And if you didn't play football in my hometown, you really weren't anything. So I wasn't the best. I used to get knocked around, and I just said, I got to keep fighting. And eventually, got a growth spurt instead of a growth spurt and a mean streak, and I started using it on the football field, and it helped out.
So after football in high school, did you went to college? Where'd you go to school?
I went to college in Central PA called a school called Bucknell University.
I got Bucknell. I heard of it.
Yep.
Okay.
Good school. And then I was a grad assistant coach there. And then, when I was there, I realized I didn't want to be a college football coach. It's a brutal profession. And a couple of my players I was coaching said, hey, there's an opening out in Pennsylvania. I said, let me try it. Because actually all my friends were Pittsburgh friends.
Okay.
And I couldn't stand the Philadelphia people.
Okay.
The Pittsburgh,
Well,
the Pittsburgh people were my buddies, and I'm like, they got to move to Western PA. So that's how I was supposed to only be here 2 or 3 years. And it's been, 24.
And Joe Hamilton liked you, and you liked being a history teacher. Were you a history teacher from the time you got here?
Right when I came here, I started teaching history.
And the history says that it's John Perrotto's turn to ask a question.
Absolutely. Bucknell, Christy Mathewson Stadium in Lewisburg.
He's
really quaint.
This man has
it's a nice, I've been there. I've seen games
believe
there.
you got it.
And
Christy's buried in the cemetery. We've all made our pilgrimage to that.
I'll be darned. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's a neat place. How did you wind up at Bucknell from upstate New York?
Well, my uncle played there in the early 70s, and so that was always a hallowed name. I had another uncle play at Cornell, so that was always a rivalry between the two schools. So I set my sights for that. And again, I wasn't the tallest, I wasn't the fastest, and I had to work for everything. And so I thought I was in over my head, just kept on working, fighting through injuries, and it ended up being a great decision to go there.
What made you decide to want to get into coaching?
I had some great coaches. My high school coach, Gene Maston, his assistant coach, Frank Labordi, Tom Gadd at Bucknell, Dave Kotulski. If I could have half the effect that those guys had on me, that's why I want to be a coach. And now, after 20-some years, I'm getting that benefit. Kids are coming up to me in their 30s saying, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have, done well in this job, or I wouldn't have made it through the military. I wouldn't have, I would have quit. So they thank me now for how I coached them and how I pushed them. So that's like you talk about money, you don't get the money, but you get those kids coming back and thanking you and appreciating you. That's like, all right, that's worth some of the money that you don't get.
I wanted to ask you, you were on Joe Hamilton's staff when you started, and Joe, of course, a legendary figure here in Beaver County and beyond, one of the winningest coaches in Pennsylvania history. What was it like as a young coach to be able to be on a staff with him? And I know Tom Hansen was his top assistant for a multitude of years. What was that like as a young coach to be around veteran coaches?
Yeah. I learned a lot from Tom Marsilio, Sam Nardone, Tom Hansen, Joe. And one thing I learned from Joe is you're every coaching after every play. You're not here to watch football, you're here to coach. And so, but I also how he interacted with kids. He was very hard on kids. He pushed them. And some kids thought he was a bully, but I don't think he was a bully. But they didn't like some of the kids didn't like how he pushed them. But before every game, after he pushed them so hard during the week and got in their face and said, "Do it again," and push them, he would say, "No matter what happens tonight, guys, win or lose, I love you like a son." And I was like, if this guy is pushing you, you might think he's a bully, but he's not. Yeah. He's one of the greatest men you're ever going to meet in your life. And so many people now just say, "Wow, I was so lucky to be coached by Joe Hamilton."
Coach, talk to us about, obviously it's only been a couple of weeks. It's only been a little while since you've been named the head coach. Have you seen signs of groups getting better? Obviously, everybody looks at the quarterback. And we know that Stephen Nally is your quarterback.
Canale, yep.
Canale. And I believe he's a junior, second-year starter.
Yep.
So obviously everybody's going to look at him, but a lot of people don't realize it's the offensive line, the defensive line, the linebackers, the running back core, the receiving core. Is there any one group that you've seen tremendous strides from, or a group as a whole?
Well, I'm hoping the offensive line is the one that has the most improvement, since I'm a line guy. We're probably going to start 3 sophomores and 2 juniors, and some people say, well, that's horrible. Well, these kids have the potential to be a really solid group. So I really like that group that's coming along right now, but they still got a ways to go. But that's what we do at the beginning of the year. You correct every mistake they make.
Because I know last year, some of the games that I saw you play, Steven didn't have a whole lot of time. He's back 2 steps, boom, guys are on him.
Yep.
And he was running for his life a couple of times. Well, when you're playing Aliquippa and Central Valley, and with the talent they have, it's kind of tough for offensive line. Obviously, they're going to bring that kind of stuff. When he has time, what's his talent level like?
I mean, he's going to make some great passes when he has that time. So We worked hard on the off season. Every Sunday, Chandler Kincaid and Canal, we'd be on Zoom watching plays and pointing out, this read, that step, that count. What can you do to get better? And he's incorporated a lot of that in his improvement.
We got about a minute to go before our next break. Coach, how's the community taken to you being the head coach? Have you heard, I'm guessing, a lot of good lucks and a lot of positives, but now that you're the head coach, you're probably hearing more things and seeing more things than you did as an assistant.
Right.
A lot of things get thrown at you a little differently. How's the community treating you? How's the school treating you so far?
The community's been great. School's been great. My phone blows up all the time because I didn't realize all the little things you have to do. I put my phone down, all of a sudden there's 20 text messages that you need to take care of this, take care of this, but
got to delegate with your assistants.
I know. I need to do that, but the community's been great. And
you still have a lot of Zach's guys still with you?
Yeah, we kept basically the staff intact.
Any new guys come on?
I brought Mike Arbogast on. He was a quarterback in the 90s. He was administrator at Blackhawk, coach for about 15, 17 years. And I brought him on, and he's done a great job. He's pushing the kids.
There you go.
Finding a better version of themselves.
Coach Pat Feeley from Blackhawk, his second stint here in this program. Coach's Corner, it's our first edition. We're talking Blackhawk Cougars. They're playing at Beaver Falls, 7 p.m. Airtime, 7:30 on Friday night. We're going to take another break. We'll come back, and me and John will wrap things up here on our first edition of the Coach's Corner, WBVP, WNBA, Beaver County Radio. We'll be right back.
At Geneva College, your academic experience will prepare you with exceptional expertise in your chosen field. But what you'll learn is so much more than just that. Integrating faith and learning, you'll grow to see God's purpose and calling in your life's work. You'll be challenged to imagine how the world around you could be different and what your part might be in making that difference. You were made to live courageously. Visit geneva.edu today.
This is Mitch Carver from Carver Construction. Playing a great football game takes teamwork, great leaders, and great individuals. As a former high school football coach myself, I know what it takes to win. I apply these same qualities to Carver Construction in New Brighton. Satisfying customers isn't anything new at Carver. We've been doing it since 1982 for both residential and commercial renovations. I'm behind every job we do, so I can guarantee you that every time you deal with us, you win. Call us or visit us at our website at carverconstructionpa.com.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years of experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
Do you know a child who struggles to read? If so, the tuition-free brick-and-mortar Provident Charter School West is here to help. The Provident Charter School West in Baden is helping children from 1st grade through 4th learn to overcome dyslexia so they can return to their hometown schools and graduate with their friends. Provident Charter School West meets the needs of children with dyslexia so they can become the inventors and educators of tomorrow. For more information, visit providentcharterschool.org.
At Pittsburgh Bay's Goldberg, Persky & White, we've helped thousands of former Babcock & Wilcox and J&L Steel employees receive compensation for their asbestos-caused lung cancer or mesothelioma. Since the time from asbestos exposure to disease diagnosis spans decades, many do not realize their illness was caused by asbestos. To find out if you are entitled to compensation, call GPW today at 1-800-COMPLEX or visit online at gpwlaw.com.
The award-winning Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston provides a delicious family dining experience. Grand Valley Inn is a great place for a party or event. They have banquet rooms for small and large gatherings. Fish and Friday night football go great together in Beaver County. The Grand Valley Inn has great fish and seafood specials on Fridays, live music on the weekends through October, and trivia night on Thursdays. Follow Grand Valley Inn on Facebook to keep up with all the fun. That's Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston.
Back to school season means back to your credit union season. Before you pack the lunchbox, be sure and pack your wallet. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union and get the cash supply you'll need so that you can buy the school supplies that they will need. This is Cindy Hiladio. Stop into the principal's office and see me to sign up for an easy-to-manage personal signature loan. They're now available from $500 to $10,000 with approved credit. Friendly Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, equal housing lender.
This football season, don't pass on McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Honest sales and 7 days a week emergency service have made them tops in their game for over 60 years. That's how long families just like yours have been relying on McGee for all their heating and cooling needs. Get ready now for the cooler days ahead and call McGee today at 724-375-7112. Serving the Beaver Valley, including Aliquippa, Monaca, Hopewell, and Center Township. McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Family owned and operated, Main Street, Aliquippa. Good luck to all the teams who visit the Gridiron this season from McGee Heating and Air Conditioning.
We're back. Coach's Corner, Blackhawk Cougars edition. I want to thank Coach Pat Feeley and 4 young men, Dante Campagna, Alex Pritchard, Maurice Watson-Trent, I think I got that right, and Thomas Price. Thank you, young men, for joining us. Mike Azadian and John Perrotto back with you again. Thanks to Pizza Joe's for providing us with the pizza. Pizza Joe's on 606 3rd Street in Beaver, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 10. They've got all kind of great specials. Thank you to them for donating the pizza for the kids today. John, quickly go around and the schedule. We got Aliquippa's off this week. They're the only Beaver County team off. Ambridge has a home game against Highlands. We're hoping Ambridge gets a little better this year. We're excited for them. We may have them on next week. We'll see. Beaver and Western Beaver play on Saturday. Of course, we know about Blackhawk and Beaver Falls. Central Valley's playing Austintown Fitch in Ohio.
I'm looking forward to that. You know, you don't see too many Beaver County teams go out of state and play. I know Western Beaver used to play Beaver Local for a while, there for about 6 years. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see how Central Valley, one of the better programs in Western Pennsylvania, stacks up against a program from the Youngstown area.
Cornell is hosting Seton LaSalle. Elwood City's at Brentwood. A lot of people excited about Elwood City because of their second-year coach. Freedom's at Quaker Valley. Hopewell is at Southside Beaver. Last year we had the Hopewell kids on, and they're an exciting group. We hope maybe if we get them on again. Can they beat what the Hopewell kids did here last year?
They set a high bar last year,
yes,
the Hopewell visit. That might have been the most interesting show we had last year when the Hopewell Vikings were here.
Moon is at West Allegheny. That's battle for not the Zip, but those guys. Big rivalry, Moon and West Allegheny. New Brighton is hosting Laurel. Olsh is hosting Shenango. Of course, we talked about QV and Freedom. Rochester and Riverside play at Rochester. And Rochester with the new quarterback, some new skill talent, a very, very small program, but they're hoping to make a playoff run this year.
And they have Gene Matzook as coach. So, you know, when you have one of the best coaches in Beaver County history, you're always going to have a chance to be good.
He says he doesn't like to talk, but when you bring him on these shows, he's great on the show.
He's great.
We had him last year. He's tremendous on the show.
And, you know, he doesn't like to talk about himself, but he's great talking about his teams.
Yeah,
he really is. He gives you a lot of insight.
Geneva is off. They start next week. John, you will be part of the broadcast teams for Geneva. Bruce Fry and yourself will be doing the home games or the away games?
Away games.
Oh, you get to travel.
I wear the dark uniform, or the white uniform.
Exactly. So you and Bruce will be doing Geneva games on the road. Joe Ursita is new to the program. He will be doing the home games with Bruce. The Geneva Golden Tornadoes?
Golden Tornadoes. And Joe Ursita will be very interesting. One of the most colorful coaches I covered in all my years at the Beaver County Times. If he translate that over to the air, he'll be quite entertaining.
We still got a couple minutes left. Anything, I mean, it's early. We don't know. There's rumors of everything. A lot of people think Beaver Falls will be, if not the best team, but one of the best teams in their classification. Aliquippa loses some linemen. They still should be good. Central Valley loses people. You assume they still should be good. But a lot of people think teams like Montour, Blackhawk, and others may ascend, and it might be a little bit more competitive in some of those conferences because we had a lot of blowouts last year.
We did, and I think a lot of that goes to the 6 classification setup now. It just, you have more lopsided matchups, and it did seem like we had very few close games a year ago. Even in some of the playoff games were very lopsided.
Well, guys, that's going to be about it. We're going to have to wrap this baby up with 30 seconds left on. Thank John Perrotto, thank Pat Feeley, thank Dante Campagna, Alex Pritchard, Maurice Watson-Trent, Thomas Price, Curtis Walsh, and our new producer, which I forgot his name, and I'm embarrassed, but I forgot. New young man that just joined the crew, but I'll get it one of these days, I promise. I'm Mike Azadian, and don't forget, Friday night, we've got Blackhawk at Beaver Falls, airtime 7 o'clock, game time 7:30, and then Saturday, Beaver at Western Beaver. Join myself and Bruce Fry. We air at 12, game time at 12:30. For everybody here, another edition of the Coach's Corner, and on WBVP, WNBA, Beaver County Radio, go Cougars!
You're listening to 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WNBA Ambridge.